Good morning. Happy Monday, everybody. This is Bernie from CG Spectrum. Hope everyone is doing good. It's Labor Day in the US. Well, what am I doing working? I'm supposed to be taking a break from working. Why am I still working on Labor Day? I don't even know how to read that. Walla Yars. And hey, Georgie. I just have some, just cleaning up my Cintiq a little bit. It looks a little messy. You guys ever notice where your arm never touches on your Cintiq? It's always a bunch of dirt on it or dust. Anyways, and I don't notice it until later because, you know, I'm usually working in a dark room. And when I turn all the lights on, I'm like, wow, this is filthy. Let's see here. Hey, what's up, Glitter? Hey, Akichi. Akichi. Hey, Rafa. How y'all doing? Did y'all have a good weekend? Man, it is so hot here in Los Angeles area, at least inland, more inland. I'm in east of Pasadena in Los Angeles area, and it is over 100. It's been over 100 degrees for the past few days. Let's see. Today it's supposed to be, well, today's not too bad. It's 91. But yesterday was over 100 degrees. So, like, even though I had the weekend, I'm like, dude, I don't even want to go outside. It's so hot. Hey, what's up, Gizm? I'm gonna call you Gizm. I've never seen a bunch of you guys on. It's weird how we get new people on all the time. Where are you guys from? How are you guys finding the stream? Just curious. And yeah, what part of the world are you guys from? That's always like fun to find out. Today we are gonna finish up this chicken dragon. It's mostly chicken actually, as you can see. It's like maybe 10% dragon, 90% chicken. It's not as cool as it could have been, I guess. Created a hybrid dragon chicken. But yeah, letting you all know that This stream is probably going to be my last stream, or I think it is my last stream for CG Spectrum. They finally got rid of me. I've been saying too many crazy things online. Just kidding. Meaning it is sorry, I'm confusing you guys. It is gonna be my last stream with CG Spectrum for now. But yeah, I'm just trying to reduce my work hours. I'm working too much. That's really the reason why. So I'll miss doing this with you guys, but maybe I'll do my own stream one day, like I keep saying. But I'm all talk at this point. But yeah, we'll end with this dragon chicken. Hopefully you guys will remember me as a chicken man. The king of chickens. Glitters from Earth. I thought you were from Mars, man. I'm surprised you're from Earth. Hey, Walaya? You're from Chile. Cool. Chile. I'm trying to think of if I know anything about Chile. And I don't think I know much about it. What do you like about Chile? Tell me, what's your favorite thing about where you're from, Walaya? Curious to know, what is Chile known for? And what do you like about it? Gizem is from Turkey. Cool. I heard a lot of good things about Turkey. Yeah, I heard like the weather's really nice there. The people are nice. Like just the standard of living, like the way people live, I heard is really nice there. Yeah, and everything's, well, according to the people that I've watched, it's like affordable but really nice. Anyways, Akichi says, I just signed up for the beginner's concept art course and I'm based in the UK. Awesome. That's great. Who do you have, by the way? Who's your mentor for the beginner's concept art course? Gizem says, I am Foundation of VFX student from CG Spectrum. Cool. That's good. I heard that department's really good. Yeah. A lot of job opportunities, right? When you come out of VFX. I think there's a high demand for all of that stuff right now. And not enough, yeah, there's like a high demand, not enough people doing it. Akichi says, excited to see your work. This will be for you, my first and last. Again, remember me as the master of all chickens. I say that because I have 10 chickens. I talked about them during the stream since they were little chicks. They're big now. When I got them, they were like the size of my hand, right? Or smaller than my hand. But now they're huge. They're all like full-size chickens. Hey, Walaya. What? Glitter. Walaya says the different environments we have, from desert to some big mountains. Cool. Oh, so Chile's like that, huh? That sounds cool. So good, a lot of nice environments, nature, huh? Cool. Desert of Atacama? Let me look that up real quick. Oh, interesting. There's some weird or interesting looking rock formations there, huh? And it's kind of like a reddish, kind of reminds me of Arizona a little bit, like the colors of the rocks. It's more like orangey reddish rocks. It's cool. Oh, you got Peter. Okay, cool. Akichi says she got, or sorry, they got Peter. He actually graduated from the same uni I attended. Oh, interesting, cool. I actually never checked out his work. Let me check it out real quick. Cool. So he does a lot of creature character design stuff. It's awesome. Cool stuff. Monsters and things like that. It's all the stuff I like doing. Oh, he does some environment. He does a little bit of everything, I guess. Cool. Gizm says, actually, I'm a 3D artist in a game studio, but I want to learn VFX and work on it. Oh, so you're a professional, but you're wanting to learn some other skills, huh, with VFX. That's cool. Georgie has the same mentor as Aki, Peter. Cool. Awesome. What about Turkey? What is there to do in Turkey? What's your favorite thing about Turkey? Again, I heard from people who are from the US talking about Turkey, so I'm sure it's different, you know, for a native or someone that grew up there, like what it's like and the things they like about Turkey. What about the UK? Wait, what part of the UK are you from specifically? And what do you like about it? I wish I could travel more. But you know, honestly, I hate like I hate the traveling process of, you know, just waiting to get on the airplane and all that stuff. I just absolutely hate it. I guess people who do actually travel a lot, they don't mind that process, you know? It's just part of the excitement, maybe, I'm guessing, because that's why they do it. I just, until we can create some teleportation device, I don't think I'm going to be traveling too much. Because the older I get, the more I hate waiting. And feeling like I'm stuck somewhere. I just hate that feeling, I don't know why. The only places I've been to outside of the US is Mexico, which is very close to where I live. I've been to Mexico. Actually, I've been to Europe, but then it was only for a little bit. It was very short. So I can't really say that I've been to Europe. I mean, like, explored Europe. I've been to Africa, like Kenya. That's something that was very fun. I've lived in Korea for several years. I've been to China several times. Again, I just hate being in the airplane. Just hate it. Waiting. I just hate that whole thing. Can't stand it. So if I go somewhere, I want to stay there for a long time, so I don't have to like keep moving around and traveling. Is that it? I think that's it. Can't think of any other place I've been to. Aki says south of UK, close to London. Cool. Do you guys have like a ton of traffic there too? Gizm says there are lots of historical places to see and lots of beaches to have a holiday, actually, and it's much affordable for people from US, UK, and Europe. Yeah, that's what I hear. I wish I could live there, actually. I say that without really knowing everything about it, but I mean, just things are so expensive in the US. It's crazy. Well, at least where I'm from, in a LA area. It's ridiculous. And it's so crowded. Gizm says, I'm actually moving to Berlin in a few months, but I can suggest everyone to visit Turkey. Oh, cool. Why are you moving to Berlin? Gizm says, Turkish people are nice to people from different cultures. That's what I heard too, so that's great. Not every, like, you know, country is actually like that, right? But that's good that Turkish people are nice to different cultures. Aki says it's impossible to drive. Oh my gosh. Sorry, but I'm never gonna go to London then. My sister pretty much tries to go to Europe every summer. She's a teacher and she loves Europe, like different, you know, traveling around that area. Maybe I'll travel more when I'm older. Or, sorry, no, that's not what it is. It's when my kids are older. I think thinking about traveling with young kids is just, it's just more stress. It's not a vacation, it's like work, harder than work. I think that's like subconsciously why I don't want to go to. I didn't really think about it like that, but I think that's one of the reasons why. It's like, why would I want to put myself through torture on my vacation? I do want to visit Korea again. It's been a long time since I've been to Korea. I just want to see how it's changed and eat some good Korean food. And show my kids, I guess, like what Korea's like. Aki says, yeah, it's not as amazing as media shows. That's kind of funny because a lot of the people, like I have some Chinese friends, right, from China, and they always, so they're like traveling around the US, right, checking out different sites like Yellowstone and New York City, like Times Square in New York City and all that stuff, right? And they come back and they're always disappointed. They're like, I'm like, how was it? They're like, it wasn't as cool as I thought it would be, because they're just seeing the stuff on TV, right? And thinking it's going to be awesome, but it's always like disappointing. Because for them, like in China, there's actually a lot of things to see in China, because obviously China's huge, right? And they have like a lot more things to look at than people think. So they're always quite disappointed when they look at stuff around here in the US. Everything's a lot smaller and less impressive. Gizm says, because there are much more job opportunities in Turkey on digital, actually, and my spouse is German and living in there right now. Oh, okay. So your spouse is German in Berlin, so you're going to live together now in Berlin. More opportunities. Cool. What is Berlin like? Do you know? Is it like super crowded there too? I just heard from my dad that Germany's awesome, but I don't really know much about it. My dad is very well traveled. He's been to many, many different places. He likes traveling, actually. Alright, so here I'm going to try to make layers of these feathers, like groupings of the feathers, and show off the layering. That's what I'm going to try to do here. to emphasize that layered look. So it's not just a bunch of scales and it doesn't just look like a pattern, right? But I'm trying to group this pattern together into clumps, if that makes sense. So this is basically where I'm editing what I have, which a lot of artists should do more of. You got to edit your own work. Take a back step and, you know, do an editing, like an overall edit, so that everything's readable from a distance. Don't get too fixated on the details, but the overall read is more important. Ash says, I heard that everyone in Germany hates Berlin, even people who lives in Berlin. Really? What was the reason? What do they hate so much about Berlin? Gizm says, AOV. Wait, what's AOV? I've never heard that before. That's funny. I'm gonna cut this out and adjust it for fun. I want to play with the shape of the overall body down here. And continue with the tail. I think I'm going to get rid of a lot of the scales on the tail. I think I want it to be a little smoother. Let's try that. I'll have some transition on it, but overall, I'll make it look more like a lizard tail maybe, I don't know, something smoother, not super scaly. Brianna says, hi, sorry I missed your stream last week. Hope you guys are having a great holiday weekend. Yeah, I'm working. No, I'm just doing the stream. After the stream, I think I'm done. I have a class later, but that's about it. So it's not too bad. Gizm says AOV means, oh, I am sorry to hear that, actually. Does it really? What does AOV stand for? That's weird. Never heard of that. I guess I'm too old. I don't know what people say these days. The cool kids. What? Gizm says, my plan is learning German and having experience for a few years and moving to London. But I do not know if it's possible for now, or not for now. Get rid of all these spikies. You guys in the US, are you guys doing anything fun today for Labor Day? What are you guys up to? Gizm says I made up AOV. You can't do that. I don't understand. So what does AOV stand for to you, Gizm? Why AOV? Why those letters? What does that mean? Excuse me. You are silly. Hey, so tell me, you guys, what makes an art stream interesting or good to watch in general? I'm asking because in the future, if I do my own stream, I want to learn from it. I want to make adjustments to make it better. So tell me, what makes an art stream or streamer in general good or interesting to watch? Let me know your opinions. And do people actually watch to learn something? Or is it because I was watching this show on TV. It's that, what is that guy's name, man? I don't remember. Hold on a second. That guy, TV. Oh yeah, it's Bob Ross. Sorry, I'm so silly. You know that guy Bob Ross who paints on TV, right? Like back in the day. Back in my day. I was watching that guy on TV. I was just flipping the channel and my kids were watching it. And you know, I was just saying, who actually watches this and is following his instructions, right? I don't think a lot of people are doing that. They're just watching it out of curiosity or for fun, I would think. And then even when you watch all those cooking shows, I think most people are not actually following, you know, the recipe or the process that the cook is walking them through. I think they're just watching for fun, right? Just to chill. But yeah, just curious, like, are people actually watching these art streams to learn anything? Or are they just watching just to chill? Just curious. I'm sure there's some people that watch to learn, but I'm just curious about overall generally. What is true for you guys? Ash says, I watch a lot of Twitch artists And they talk a lot about art in general and pop culture and some of the things they like, so some even do critiques of the viewer's art. That's cool. That's something I would want to do. We couldn't do that here, I don't believe, on CG Spectrum. But yeah, like, I would like to do that, critiquing other people's art. Talking about why, you know, why this works well and all that stuff, and why something doesn't work well, things like that. Just analyzing it and understanding what you can get out of a certain piece of art, or how you can improve a piece of art. Ash says, and yes, there are some streamers that receive a lot of questions about art of people that have common questions like, can you make a living of art off of art? In case of Bob Ross, because he is super famous, people go there more because of him. Yeah. Thanks for the response, Ash. What is something online that you guys feel like is not talked about related to art, right? Like, you guys search for a certain question, or you're searching for something, right? What is it? What is that thing that you're searching for that's related to art that you can't seem to find enough information on? What would that be? More chicken art? Oh boy. Georgie says it being interactive. Aki says, I actually feel like sometimes there's too much info and get overwhelmed. Yes, that's how I would see things if I were you in your situation. I feel like there's just too much information now. And like, you don't know what to focus on because there's just so much. Yeah, that's how I would feel. That's why I don't look at anything. I only look at stuff that I'm like, you know, stuff. If I'm working on something and, you know, it's related, then I'll look at it, but I will never go out of my way to look at different things. Because I know, like, my mind will go everywhere then. So I just stay focused on whatever task I'm working on, or, you know, any kind of project I'm on, and I just search for things related to only that. I don't just randomly look at other people's artwork or anything like that. Never. It's too much. At least for me. And even when you search like tutorials and stuff like that, there's just so much out there, right? So that's interesting to hear. Ash says, I think it depends on what the person wants. Some just want to improve their art and some want more career questions. Okay, cool. Aki says, yeah, I only like to use YouTube if I know what I need. Yeah, where you're specifically searching for something, right? Cool. For a stream, right? Like, what is too long and what's too short in your opinion? Like, is an hour just right, or is 2 hours too long? You know what I mean? Is 30 minutes too short for a stream? Like, what do people think? Ash says most artists do very long streams, like 3 hours or more. Yeah, so Ash, do you feel like that's too long? Like 3 hours? Or does it not matter because you could just, sign into the stream and then log out whenever, right? So does the length not matter? Aki says, I like an hour. I think that's perfect, kind of like watching a shorter movies or Netflix series. Cool. But like when you're watching a stream or listening to it, do you guys actually watch? Like you're not really watching intently, are you? Or are you just listening like it's playing in the background? You know what I mean? Is it more like that? And I'm asking because I don't really watch streams, so I'm really not sure like, what the mentality is behind it. Like the only thing that I've done before is no, actually, I listen to podcasts, right? In the past, and that's just playing in the background while I'm doing stuff. So is it kind of like that? Like I'm an old guy trying to understand what's going on. What do kids like these days? I'm trying to understand the new generation. Ash says no because they talk a lot and it's fun to interact. Oh, it's okay. It's the interaction, like Georgie was saying too. So part of it is the interaction. Brianna says how to learn rendering, lighting. I had to go through hundreds of videos before I found a few that had actual technical how-tos. Makes me wish I could afford to go back to school. Are you out of CG Spectrum right now, Brianna? Brianna, who did you have at CG Spectrum as a mentor? I think I know, but I'm just asking to be sure. So there's not a lot of rendering lighting videos? That's interesting. I would think there'd be a lot of rendering, but maybe, I don't know. I guess that video would be super long. That's good to know, though. Thanks, Brianna. I wish I could go back to school, too, to be honest. I'm serious. I like learning. It's fun. Ash says, and yes, I watch because it's fun to watch and talk with the artists. Cool. Yeah. Brianna says, sometimes I watch the stream and other times it's just in the background. Okay, cool. That's good to know too. What are some things that streamers do that you absolutely hate? Tell me. Like things that they do that just make it really bad. And I should avoid at all costs. And it could be specific to art or just in general. Ash says, my favorite streamer artists do critiques in the end of a stream and do some classes, giving exercises on Fridays. Oh, interesting. It's like a class, huh? Brianna says, I haven't been able to attend yet. I'll have enough saved up by January. My bachelor's is in poli-sci and accounting. And art helped me deal with the stress. Interesting. Yeah, I know some students that are in school studying like something completely different and then doing art on the side as well. Art does help with stress, right? That's what I used to do. I mean, that's why I think part of the reason why I got into art is like it's therapy, right? Yeah, so that's interesting. Ash says, I think I don't have anything I hate, just them being themselves and being charismatic. Just make the stream good. Cool. Brianna says, New Mexico, the state, also doesn't have the best art programs. Oh, okay. New Mexico. Yeah, I don't know any art schools in New Mexico. Yeah, if you're gonna go to a actual brick and mortar school to do art, you definitely want to go. It's, I think, ideal to go to a private art school for sure. Because I can't think of a like a state run college that has a really good art program. Can't think of one. But the private art schools are super expensive, at least in California, or in general I think they are. So that's the problem. So you gotta try to get scholarships or something like that. But I just don't think it's even worth going to study art if you're gonna go to a normal college. It's just not worth it. That's why my wife actually dropped out of her major as an art major in college. She went to a school in the Midwest for art, and she said after her first year she realized she wasn't learning anything that she could actually use for a job, so she just dropped out. And I've seen that same story over and over again from, you know, a lot of other people. So don't waste your money going to, and time going to a regular college for art. The teachers don't know what they're doing. Ash says if I had money, I would go to a private school, but for now I'm just self-taught. If a lot of artists in major studios did like this, why anyone can't? Yeah, so you're saying if there's a lot of artists in studios that are self-taught, why can't other people do the same thing, right? Yeah, I mean, I know artists that I've worked with at Blizzard who are self-taught. Especially these days, if you're motivated, you could find everything you need, almost everything you need online, so sure, you could totally do it. You just have to stay focused and super disciplined. You gotta work hard every day. And that's the hard part, right? Most people aren't motivated enough. We all wish we were, but it's just not true, right? Where you have to stay motivated for a long period of time, like years, right? You have to be somewhat obsessed with art. Brianna says, yeah, I switched majors a few times. The welding class was awesome though. Oh, cool. I wanted to learn welding at one point. I mean, there's a lot of things I want to learn, but yeah, welding was one of them. Because in general, I feel more satisfaction by building things, like making something that you can like touch, right, and see from different angles. That is much more satisfying to me than just drawing in 2D or painting in 2D. So yeah, I remember at one point I was looking into like taking welding classes and buying like a welding machine and all that stuff. I like those sculptors that build stuff out of pieces of metal, like sheet metal, or like even junk they find. Like metal pieces of metal and they like sculpt something out of it. I think that stuff is cool. Brianna says a lot of community colleges teach welding and it can turn into a high-paying job too. Oh yeah, there's a lot of demand for welders, right? But I wanted to sculpt with it. Ash says, of course, that is a lot of there is a lot of useless content online, but like you said, you just need to focus. And it's been 1 year. I'm studying 8 hours per day, and I'm happy with my improvement. Just some more time. That's awesome to hear. Yeah. Keep going. Brianna says, yeah, my dad does metal sculptures from my mom's horseshoes. Oh, that's cool. That sounds interesting. You could learn from your dad then, huh? I'm just trying to wrap this part up real quick so I can get to adding some effects onto this guy. I think that part will be kind of fun. Brianna's asking, so why did you stop pursuing metalwork? That would be pretty cool to watch on a stream. No, I'm just saying, like, it's not like I wanted to pursue it, like, professionally. It was just something that I was interested in like learning on the side. Again, because I'm as an artist, like as a real artist, right? Um, the real artist side of me is what I'm saying. Wanted to like make stuff in 3D, you know, make sculptures and things like that. So I was just looking into it. That's what I was saying. I mean, like, I like ceramics too. So I took a class with my wife. Things like that I was just looking into trying out. So I have the knowledge of, you know, continuing it if I wanted to. But again, like, things happened and I was like, I just wasn't able to do it. Kids happened, basically. Maybe that's what it was. Kids. So maybe in the future, when I have more time, I'll do it. Just not enough time. That's what I'm always complaining about. I don't have enough time to do all the stuff I want to do. I was just thinking this morning when I was like doing stuff in the garden. In my garden, I was like, oh, I wish I had a greenhouse. I wish I had a greenhouse where I could grow stuff, you know, that needs more humidity or, you know, more of a tropical like environment. But then I thought, oh, that's just going to take up more time. I don't have time for that. It's always like that. I was thinking yesterday, I was researching like coconuts, like growing coconuts. I know I can't grow coconuts in California, but I was just I was just dreaming about it, I guess, like wishing I could. I'm like, oh, I wish I could grow coconuts. Like I was trying to see if there was a way to do it. If someone figured it out. I could keep myself busy just growing stuff. And I'd be fine. There's just so much to learn with that part. So how am I going to do everything else I'm interested in? Yeah, so this is a great time for all of you while you're, in student mode where you're learning. Really enjoy it. Take advantage of that time and where you can have focus, especially if you're not working, right? Really don't abuse it. Take advantage of it. Make the most out of it. That is my last words to you guys on the stream, or advice, piece of advice. Because in the future, you may not get these opportunities to just focus on learning. I'm jealous of you guys. Brianna says metalwork takes a dedicated space too. Yeah, that's what I heard. Ash says, have you ever read Blue Period? Is going to get an anime adaptation next month. No, I haven't heard of Blue Period. Ash says, I think every artist should read. It's about a middle-class student that starts studying to pass a very difficult art school and talks about talent and hard work and other very good topics. That sounds interesting. Yeah. Blue Period. Let me look it up real quick. Why is it called Blue Period? Oh, sorry. It's a I misunderstood. That's the anime, the manga you're talking about. Excuse me. Yep, the number one thing that people are missing, like artists are missing, is just super, super hard work. That's one of the things, top 3 things. You just have to work super hard. Harder than anybody in any field, to be honest. You have to work as hard as a doctor or a lawyer be working in school. For most people, unless you're like, you have extreme talent. If you have extreme talent, like you're one of those geniuses, right? Then, I mean, you still have to work hard, but maybe you don't, you could get your 8 hours of sleep. But if you're normal like me, or below average, then you gotta work harder. That's where you make up the space, right? The difference is by working harder. Or working smarter, but, honestly, I think most of it's working harder. But yeah, when you have a mentor or you do the proper research, then they help you to work smarter is what it is, right? They tell you all the things you need to know and that you need to focus on, and they cut all the, the unnecessary stuff out for you. That's where a mentor could really help. Brianna asked, do you guys ever meet your students in person? Did I ever? No, I've never met a student in person. No. I guess like most students don't live close to me. Would I if they were nearby? I don't know, to be honest. Um, would I ever meet a student in person? That actually would depend on the school's policy, I guess. I haven't looked into the policy if we're even allowed to meet students in person. Uh, Not sure. But let's say the policy is that, you know, you could do whatever you want. You can meet students if you wanted to. That's my own business. Then would I still meet a student in person? To be honest, just thinking about it right now on the spot, while during the class, I don't think I would meet the student in person during the while they're in the classroom setting. I don't think I would for many different reasons. Um, like number one reason is I just don't have the time. I really don't have the time. Um, Second reason is, I mean, there could be things that arise from meeting a student in person. I mean, again, it's to avoid potential problems, right? I'm not saying like every student is like this, but you could imagine the issues that could come up. I won't get into all that stuff, but it just opens the door to potential issues. And so it's, in my mind, it seems better not to meet in person during the class. Um, yeah. So after the course is over, I would be open to it, I guess. Yeah. If I had the time, I guess I wouldn't be closed-minded to it. It's a possibility. Sure. Aki says growing a bonsai tree seems fun. Yeah, I looked into all that stuff too. I would like to do stuff like that as well. Just don't have time. Like basically you're snipping all the roots, right, to slow down the growth process of the tree. They gotta always like maintain the root system to prevent it from growing too big, right? And of course, like maintaining the looks of it, like cutting, you know, branches and leaves and things like that. But yeah, that sounds like fun to me too. I don't know if it's fun for the plant, but Brianna says, I think like a yearly convention type setting would be kind of cool. Oh, that's what you mean. That's a good idea for the school, right? Having a like a convention for the school, like where people who are interested or people who've taken the course before, they could all get together and meet the mentors and talk to the mentors, ask them questions, things like that. I think that's a great idea. Yeah. Sorry, I was just thinking like one-on-one, meeting the student one-on-one. But yeah, your idea is good. No, I didn't even do the feet. I'm gonna do it, try to do it real quick, just indicate. And just darken it first. Ash says a convention would be good for people who want to learn about the field but don't know too much about it. Yeah, good. Rihanna says, well, because at least at a convention it creates kind of a professional type setting, protects you and the students and former students. Yeah, that's a good idea. Exactly. I guess the problem is like, how do you get the students, like how do you get the convention large enough to be worth doing, right? Because CG Spectrum students are like from all over the world, so you know what I mean? It's actually not as big as some other art schools, you know? So that's the only question. Maybe, I mean, CG Spectrum is thinking about doing it, but they're just waiting for the school to be large enough for it to be worth doing, if that makes sense. Rihanna says, or they take part as a few booths at Comic Cons. That's a good idea too. Yeah, that's an even better idea actually. Like at a Lightbox convention, they have a thing called Lightbox. I don't know if you guys heard of it in LA. That I went to one and it was awesome. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of famous, like a well-known Instagram artists there. They had whole, like Riot Games took up like a whole lane of like booths of their art for their artists. That was super popular. But yeah, I think that's a good idea for CG Spectrum. I don't think I saw any schools there. I'm trying to remember, but I don't remember seeing any art schools there. Maybe there were, but I just didn't notice. Maybe there was. Again, my memory sucks. Because there was some portfolio reviews going on, but I don't remember if it was from a specific school or not. Yeah. But that's a good idea. I guess I'll bring it up. And then they're gonna tell me to go. And I'll say no. I'm just kidding. Ash is saying instead of making their own convention, they could participate some art conventions, like for example, a Comic Con. Yeah, you guys are on the same page there. That's a good idea. Great ideas. Yeah, for sure. Just don't send me. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't mind going as long as it's with some other mentors, I guess. I don't want to go by myself. Alright, let me try adding some effects to this guy. To this girl, I mean, sorry. Hey, give me a minute. Yeah, if you could, like this stream, I appreciate it. It's the last stream I'm doing with CG Spectrum. But yeah, give me 1 minute, I'll be right back, okay? Hey, thanks for waiting. Brianna says, I'd love to meet you. You could stream it too. Oh, stream the whole thing. Yeah, it'd be cool to meet you too. Brianna says this is really your last stream. With CG Spectrum, it is. It was supposed to be next week, but I heard that they're taking a break from streaming for next week. So today's gonna be my last with CG Spectrum. Streaming with CG Spectrum. Yep. Yeah, I said that early in the stream. I guess you missed it. Don't be too sad. I'm gonna start my own stream later in the future. But yeah, I'm done for now. I just gotta. The reason why is I'm just reducing my work hours. I've been working too much, killing myself. So I gotta. What it really is I could do it, but I'm just not present a lot of the times. Like, I want to do a good job at anything I'm doing. You know, if I'm gonna do something, I want to do it right, and if I felt like I was just kind of out of it, like in some days I'm just like not there. You know, I'm sure you notice in some streams I'm really like out of it, maybe. You're like, Bernie, are you there? Knock knock. What's going on? So yeah, I just gotta reduce my work hours. That's what it really is. They're not kicking me off the stream because I'm doing a horrible job. That's not what it is. I hope not. No, it was me. I was asking for a reduction of hours. Overall, like with all my jobs, I must be working, let me see, how many hours do I work every week? I would say I work close to 80 hours a week. Is that true? That's pretty amazing. Let me see. Not quite 80, but close to it. Can you imagine that every week? 80 hours? It's too much. Even though I like what I do, it's just too much. I think that's the problem with a lot of jobs, is that if you were only working like half the amount of time that, you know, most people do for a job, it would actually be quite enjoyable, right? But it's just the amount of hours you have to work that makes it like difficult or challenging, right? You just get burnt out. And again, you're not present, you're just kind of going through the motions sometimes, like a zombie, which is not a good feeling. And it's not fair to everybody involved. Harold says, Aki, I'm growing some bonsai. It's kind of fun, but patience. All the damn patience it requires. It's fulfilling though once you are in a couple years in, I mean. Oh, that's cool. Harold, what would you recommend for a beginner to start with on a bonsai tree? I looked into it, so for me, I was gonna start with, because I have a bunch of different varieties of the jade plant. You know what I'm talking about? The jade plant, it's like a succulent. And I know a lot of people bonsai that one, and I think I read it was easy. So that's what, I have a bunch of jade plants, like different varieties that I've been neglecting kind of. They're still alive, but yeah, I remember I got those because I was gonna try some bonsai stuff on them. But yeah, what would you recommend? Aki says, yeah, I can imagine it's a big commitment. I'm bad at growing plants. If you're bad at growing plants, go with succulents or cacti. You just can't overwater them. That's the only issue that you can have. Neglecting them, sometimes they do better when you neglect the plants, the cacti or succulents. Ash says, do you already have a Twitch channel for me to follow to know when you start to stream in the future? I don't. So sorry. I don't know how I'm gonna let you guys know. I'll use my telepathic powers to let you guys know where I'm streaming. I don't know. I don't know how I'm gonna let you guys know actually. Maybe through the channel on CG Spectrum. I don't even know if they'll let me, but we'll see. I'll figure it out. But I don't think that's gonna be anytime. Probably maybe it'll be next year, early next year. I don't know. Ash says 80 hours is too much even if you love it. Yep. You just get burnt out. And it becomes a burden. Like your attitude starts changing. That's how I knew I had to reduce my hours. I was like, I wasn't looking forward to things anymore. Yeah. Again, it became a burden almost. Anyways, Harold says jade plant is kind of a hard starter, I think. I'd go with outdoor to start if you have a place for it. Starter bonsai juniper. Okay, I've heard of juniper. I'll look into that. Thanks, Harold. Aki says, oh, that sounds cool. Might give it a try. Yeah, juniper. Okay. Does the, real quick, Harold, does the pot have to be a specific kind of pot? Or, like, I noticed that the, bonsai pots are more narrow, like, shallow, right? But does it have to be shallow? That's what I'm asking, I guess. Is that what keeps it small? Is a shallow pot? Or just can it be in a small pot in general? Alright, I gotta add some effects to this. Let's see. Let me just cut this whole thing out. Kinda worked. What? When did I mark that? Oh boy. What happened? Anyways. Let me just erase some of this out. Let's say it's perfect. Whoops. Alright, I gotta get to the effects part. We're running out of time. Let's do color dodge. Dragon's breath, so we gotta give her fire. Try a heart light layer on top of this. See what it looks like. Oh, that looks like dragon's breath. Sorry, I'm running out of room here. Let's go back to color dodge. Make some little particles. Harold says there are a lot of beautiful options in juniper. There are a few varieties from Japan. I love California juniper because it has a lot of color variation throughout the year. Oh, look into that. The pot doesn't necessarily have to be shallow at first. The shallow pot is really more like your goal. If you have your plant in a very shallow pot, then what that means is you have a beautiful root. Network underneath that doesn't run more than like an inch or two below the soil. What keeps the tree small is regular pruning of the root mass and the foliage as you prune, especially in the correct season for roots or foliage. The leaves begin to grow in smaller and smaller over the years, so the 20-year plant is to have small leaves that give the illusion the tree is a miniature version of itself rather than just a stunted tree. Cool. I'll look into it. Thanks for the information. Follow me on my next stream, bonsai trees with Bernie Kang. Just kidding. It's a chicken death wing. I'm just trying to bring in some hints of the glowing heat into the inner part of the body, so it's not too separate looking. I should have scooted it over to the left, huh? Oh well. Alright. We're gonna leave Dragon's Breath at that. Hey, thanks everyone for joining me today again. And thanks for following the stream over the past several months. I don't even know how long I've been doing this stream for. It's been like maybe half a year or so or more. Anyways, it was fun while it lasted. Yeah, just keep going. Work hard at whatever you guys are doing. Stay disciplined. Have fun while you're working hard. And keep in touch. If you're at CG Spectrum, you know how to get to me through Slack. Yeah, and I will see you guys around, okay? Alright, thanks. I'll miss you guys. Have a good week. Bye.